So I just did the update, and it is absolutely pouring with rain, and it is exactly how I feel today. This weather is exactly how I feel today. But despite that, I want to talk about animals. I'm going to take you this way. Well, first I want to talk about the cats. I'm going to sit here a minute and talk about the cats. There were some cats here before, and some of you may have seen those videos, like when I first arrived here. And here's the thing. Well, there's several things actually. To me, a cat isn't a wild animal. They are domestic animals, and so the thing is that they don't like, for example, up in that tree there are some squirrels that and they come and go, they live their life, they jump to the other trees, they do whatever they're doing, and sometimes I put nuts for them and pieces of bread and things like that up in that tree for them. And they know that I do that, but I don't do it like every day, because I don't want to create a dependence. These are wild animals, all right? But cats aren't wild, okay? The same with the birds. The birds, I do sometimes give them like breadcrumbs and stuff, but I don't even need to, because they come and eat my chicken's food very often. But they're wild animals. They might come and scavenge a little bit, but then they go and they live their life, whereas cats hang around all the time. And here's my thing about that. If I am actually responsible for an animal, I will be responsible for it. Okay, but these cats, they're all very friendly when I have some food, but as soon as I don't, they just scarper, but they still hang around, And the thing is, they don't even I can't even pick them up. And if I can't pick them up, then I can't put anything to stop the fleas and the mites. I see them scratching the whole time. And if I'm responsible for an animal, then that's part of my job, and that's what I would do, you see. And I did put these cats to the test, or one of them anyway. There's only one that comes near me, and I put some food inside my house, and I just wanted to see what the reaction was. I wanted to see, okay, is this a cat that actually wants to be a house cat? Because I think we all have freedom of choice. Let's and I think the animals should have freedom of choice too. So she came in, started eating the food, and I very quietly closed the door. And when she realized that the door was closed, she went absolutely ballistic, hissing, scratching, throwing herself at the door, crashing at the windows. I mean, absolutely. And that told me all I needed to know. That cat does not want to be a house cat. That cat wants to be free. And so I opened the door and let her out. And that is clear now to me. Okay? Now, I know I made a mistake in feeding them, but I tell you, I haven't told this part before. This is what I saw that made me feel that I had to. The little one, which I call her she, I don't know if it's a boy or a girl, but I'm assuming it's she. She's the smaller one, or she was the smaller one. She's the one, I saw her with an infection in her eye and just looking very much like she was on her last legs. And then I saw that the other cat had some food, and when the brother or the sister, there's two of them. You see, there shouldn't only be two of them. There's got to be more. Cats have litters of 4 or more, I think so. So I don't know what happened to the others. but I only ever saw 2. But anyway, so the brother, I'm going to call it the brother because he was bigger. The brother had some food, and when the little one came to try and share it, the brother hissed and scratched and pushed her away, right? Like swiped at her, and I could see she was dying. So I couldn't, I couldn't just let that happen. So what I ended up doing was just quietly feeding her on her own, all right? But then, as I say, I did this test, and she made it very clear she does not want to be a house cat. And also, she did used to come onto my lap to eat the food, but if I ever tried to, pick her up or anything like that, she would just scarp her. Okay, so here's the thing: if I can't pick a cat up to treat the fleas or whatever other, if they're sick or whatever, then I can't be responsible. That's my point of view. And added to all of that, you see, I don't know if you see, I love the birds. I really love the birds, and there are very many people who love cats and who love dogs, and I do too. But there are societies, there are what do you call these, rescue places. There are all kinds of places that look after cats and dogs, but there aren't places that look after birds, and actually, for example, farm animals either, like chickens and stuff. And I found out something very, very shocking from one of the animal rights. They come up on Facebook, these animal rights groups. And did you know that chickens are not covered by any humanitarian law to stop the, what I mean is, I don't know even how to say this, but they don't spare them any cruelty when they're killing them. And I can't live with that, you see. Alright? And the thing is, when you watch some of those videos of how they're treated in these factory farms, and how they're kept in cages where they can't move and they have to just keep laying eggs the whole time. It's too horrible. Okay, it's too horrible. And that was one of that really finally decided me. I tell you what I saw that finally decided me I'm going to be vegetarian. And I was scrolling and look, these were nice people. This was like out in the forest, free range place. But they were showing how they processed, that's the word they used, processed the chickens. And they had this cone, this kind of plastic cone that was strapped to a tree, and they got this it was a rooster, and it looked just like my man's door. And they put him head first down into the cone, and I couldn't watch after that. I couldn't watch, and I made the decision there and then, I'm going to be vegetarian, all right? And actually, that is very difficult for me because my body, I've known this for a very long time. I'm an O, my blood group is O, and I know I'm supposed to eat meat. And also, many of the things that you eat as a vegetarian make me quite sick. They give me a lot of gas or, diarrhea or... Anyway, it's not easy, all right? And on top of it, I'm very limited to what I'm eating because I've only got dry stores that as I said, is running out. So I just wanted to talk about animals. I love animals so much, and I'll tell you why. I love them because when human beings started ostracizing me and torturing me and just treating me like a pariah, animals came to my rescue. Literally, animals did. All over the place. There would be seagull. If I went to the beach, there would be seagulls coming up close to me. If I was walking down the street, well, one time a dog actually dragged its owner right across the street to come and see me. And I actually do believe that dogs are, angels. I do. Because I think that they sense, when you need them. And he was licking my hand and wagging his tail, and he was so sweet. And anyway, and then later on here in America, when I was in Jamaica Beach, there was a flock of birds. Now all I did was maybe throw them a few breadcrumbs and stuff, and they totally adopted me. I mean, they would even come and see me when I didn't have food, and they would sit on my arm. I wasn't really making videos then, and it was on a previous Facebook account. I'll have to dig out those photos. You see, the gang stalkers destroy so much. They take evidence off my phone. They destroy photos. They've literally destroyed all my previous phones. But I will do my best to get these photos. Or maybe I can access an old account or something. The thing is, I always forget the passwords. That's the thing. But of course, the gang stalkers always have my passwords because they're always hacking. They can hack right into all my accounts. Just heard something. So yeah, these birds were just adorable. There was one I used to call Jenny, who had a hurt foot. And oh my goodness, the birds are so intelligent. They are so intelligent. Okay, listen, when I had to move from Jamaica Beach, I crossed over on the ferry and I went up to, this is in Texas, I don't know if you know, down there by Galveston. And so the police were persecuting me. I haven't told this story. They were just, everywhere I went, they would persecute me, and they illegally arrested me twice there. Anyway, I don't think I've even told this part of my story, but I just kept being moved on, and then I was threatened. I actually had to, it's a long story and I can't really tell it now, but I got on the ferry and I crossed over to High Island, I think they call it Bolivar, and I was up on one of the beaches quite far along, like almost near to the end of the line of beaches, and Jenny, little Jenny with her little hurt, crippled little foot, came, and I saw her hopping on this fence, just hopping back and forth and looking at me with her little head tilted to the side. So cute. So cute. And she'd followed me. I mean, these are intelligent animals. And of course, then I gave her something to eat, and I did for all the time that I was there. But of course, I got moved on it, and I just got gang stalked very, very badly there. And the police were, complicit again. It seems it's always the police. And it's so shocking because they're supposed to be protecting and serving us, and they're just not. But anyway, this is about animals, and I want to show you the solution that I've come to with. I think I told you the problem that I had. I had my man's door was sleeping up there with the neighbours, and she was feeding him and encouraging him and stuff. But the problem was that the other two were bullying him quite a lot. And there's history to that. It's because when the girls were here and they were little, Manstor, he maybe needs to learn how to be more of a gentleman, all right? And I really want my girls back, all right? So I'm gonna before they arrive, I'm gonna give him a manicure and spruce him up and give him a little pep talk about how to treat a lady. I'm joking, but you know what I mean. I definitely will be filing down his nails to make him, you know, more agreeable to the ladies. So this is what I've done. This is Manstor, and he's thrown his water, so I have to get more water. But hey, Manstor, and he's on his own. But look, I put two. I don't know if I can actually show you this. If I go back a bit. So what I did was, it's quite a big cage because it's two cages together, and it's under the trees, so he's got shade. And the thing is, yeah, he's still on his own, but look, I don't know if you saw the video of him when he was in the garage. He was just literally all the time, he was standing all on his own with his little tail down. And now look, he's alert. Hey, Manstor. Hey, Manstor. He is still on his own, but he's not miserable anymore, thank goodness. And I've still got to work on it, you know. I still would like them all to be together. But if that doesn't happen, then what I think I would do is maybe put him into this enclosure. There's a bigger enclosure here. It's here. It's actually, you can hardly see it because here, I'll show you. I fenced this part off here, and these beautiful flowers have grown over it, so it looks, you can't tell it's an enclosure. And I'll show you over here. So here's my idea. If I can't get them all to kind of live together, look how beautiful it is.